Today on the Skidmore family farm, we're gonna do some salsa verde beef. We just got some canned salsa verde, green chili mix. It's mild in the hot department. Got 2 cans. We've got 3.5 pound beef roast. I've got some melted butter in the Instapot. We're gonna brown it first. It's already heated. You preheat it, melt the butter, get it good and hot, and we'll sear the meat. And then once this is seared on all sides, we will turn the Instapot on high pressure, high heat for 1 hour. We'll mix this in after it's browned, and then we'll put it on for 1 hour, high heat, high pressure on the Instapot. We'll show that here in just a second. It just takes a few minutes to brown on each side, and then we will make burritos this afternoon for the kids. Trey went to his dad's, Gigi went to her mom's, and Eli's at his mom's for his birthday weekend with her. I have the 3 V's, Valley, Vale, and Vaughn, and Elena's still here. Ashley's at work. It was her weekend to work. Eli's birthday was yesterday, so she had Friday off. We went and had lunch with the kids at school. And then yesterday, it's Sunday today. Saturday, we went to a place called Zip City in Indianapolis. And they have trampolines and zip lines and laser tag and an indoor soccer arena. And we went there for Eli's birthday and Valley's. Valley was 13 this week on Wednesday, I believe. So she's officially a teenager. And Eli turned 8 on Saturday, March 9th. So, and then we went and ate at, where did we go? Texas Roadhouse, steakhouse, last night. And then I dropped Eli back off at his mom's for her weekend visit. And the bees decided to come with us. So they're hanging out this weekend, and then they'll go back tonight, and I'll pick up Eli. But that's what we have going on this weekend. Now I'm going to flip this over. I'm just using my hands to pick it up. You probably should use tongs or a fork, but I'm a hands-on person, so just pick it up. You see that's brown. Flip it over. I like to move this around like this so the butter gets underneath of it. I'm not putting any seasoning on it. This, I believe you can get anywhere. This comes from Walmart, or we have Kroger's here in Indiana, which is just a chain store that's, I think, local to Ohio, Indiana, maybe Illinois. But you could get your choice or use your homemade stuff if you know how to make that. Said just brown this up, throw it in there, hour and a half or an hour on high heat, high pressure, and then we can make burritos with it this afternoon. Once we get back to that, in a little bit, we'll come back after this is done. We'll go ahead and pour this in. We're not going to flip it again. It's already browned on the side that I'm pouring the sauce on. And I like to do this too. It also heats it up pretty quick. The saute mode does. And then I just cancel it out. Hit the cancel button. Put my lid on. Make sure the pressure release is on pressure and not venting. If it's venting, it won't build up pressure. And we've canceled it out. We go to pressure cook, and we're gonna, it says 25 minutes, we're gonna run it up to an hour. Okay, we got 60 minutes, and the timer doesn't start until it builds up pressure, in case this is your first time using your Instapot. It'll go to on. I'm going to take it off, keep warm, and when it's done after the 1 hour, it'll go up to, it'll start counting down once it's up to pressure, and the pressure relief valve, you will see it pop up. Once it goes up, within a few minutes the timer starts. It doesn't start until it reaches pressure, the desired pressure setting that you put it on. And as you can see, we've got the heat is on high or more, and pressure is high. And like I said, once it gets up to pressure, it will start the timer. And then when it's done, on this roast, since it's in the sauce, I'm just going to naturally let it vent out. We won't touch anything. I'll just wait until a couple hours from now, and when that red button's pushed back down, the spring-loaded pressure valve, I'll know that it's released on its own naturally. It did its thing instead of manually releasing it right after the 60 minutes is up. And that'll just kind of allow it to, the sauce to absorb into the meat a little bit more, and it'll slowly cool down and make the meat more tender with it being in this. This has a high acidity, so that helps break down the meat and make it more tender. As the longer it cools down on that slow temperature, we'll heat it up real fast, brown it, that seals it. And then the high pressure puts all that pressure and heat on it real quick, and then you just let it it's kind of the equivalent to a slow cooker, because by that time it's really hot, and then it just slowly cools down, and that gives it time to rest and absorb all that flavor. And it's usually pretty tender. Once it's done, I'll go to pick it up and it'll just come off in pieces. It won't come out like in a whole roast anymore. And that's when you know you did it right on a roast, for me, a beef roast. Otherwise, if you do it wrong, it's tough. If you think it's done and you pick it up and the whole roast comes up with it, that's usually going to be a tough roast. So that's not how I like my roast. I don't know about everybody else, but I think most people when they want to roast, they just want to cut it with a fork and not have to saw at it with a steak knife. But we'll get back with you here in just a little bit. Later this afternoon, and we'll wrap this video up when we make the burritos. We'll grill the burritos on the stove. Okay, we're back, and it's about 3 hours later. I let the roast release, the pressure release on its own, and it was only on high pressure and high temperature for 1 hour, 60 minutes. So, and what I said before, when you go to pick it up, if it doesn't fall apart, then you did something wrong. Here's basically, that's half of it. That's just trying to pick it up, it just falls apart. See? And you can basically take this, and you can, when you push on it, the grain of the meat should start separating, should push apart into strands. That's how you get that fork tenderness, is when that grain starts to separate. The fat in between the meat cooks real slow and separates between the grain of the meat. When that happens, that's when you get the tenderness. If you cook it too fast, it tightens up, and it just makes it tough and not very good. But we'll get the rest of this out. Yeah, it's just falling apart. Look, this is one piece. I'll sit there and go like that, and it falls apart. And it's still very hot. It's rested for probably 2 hours. But like I said, when you push on it and you see the grains separate on the meat, that's when you know it's good. See how I can just go like that and it falls apart? Then we have all the verde sauce that's still in there. And I'll shred this up and pour the sauce over it. Probably just go ahead and poke it like this. Said if you can't do that and break it up just by touching it, then you're not cooking it right. Beef roast, you shouldn't have to chew it for 20 minutes to get it to be able to swallow it. And most of the fat just separates right off the meat. Take that fat off. There's not a whole lot. Most of it cooks up. When you cook it under high pressure like that, it melts it down and you get a couple pieces, the big chunks that won't cook up. But most of it, laundry's done. Something else to do. But and you can use this for whatever. I mean, I could have put potatoes in with it, not put the verde sauce. Done potatoes and carrots or different whatever veggies you like. But then I'll pour this on and just pour it over it, and we'll let it sit. It's still really hot. I know it doesn't look like it's steaming or anything, but it's very hot. And I'm just going to let this soak. And I like to pour some of the sauce over a burrito. After I make the burritos, take this extra sauce, put it on the side or in a bowl, or just dump it over the top of the burrito. You could use this for tacos or burritos, quesadillas, or like I said, you could put potatoes and carrots, whatever you want in it. Just to make a regular beef roast dinner, which I did a video with the carrots and potatoes with Elena. If you remember, if you go back to cooking with Elena, you'll see the beef roast with potatoes and carrots. But I'm just going to let this sit and cool down, and I'm going to prep some tortillas and get those ready for grilled burritos. I'm going to take my cast iron skillet and grill those. I'll just wrap this up with some cheese, and whoever wants beans on it, put that on there and grill it. Put some sour cream on it, hot sauce, good to go. Drowned it in this verde sauce too. Good stuff. Scoot this back so it doesn't get spilled. There. Cover this up and keep the sauce hot. And that's going to wrap up our beef verde for burritos or whatever type of Mexican meal you like to make. You can serve this over rice too if you want to lower the carbs down a little bit. Rice still has carbs in it, but if you want to cut out the tortillas and make it a little bit low carb, you can just serve it over rice and pour the juice over the white rice, and it's pretty good that way too. Please hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell to get all our newest videos. And you can also catch us on Facebook at Skidmore Family Farm. Thanks for watching.